day, a little overcast. Never know what's going to happen. Might rain, might not. Hey, welcome to H-Town. I love this place, man. But anyway, let's talk. This is primarily for all of the Jason Whitlock fans that love to show up when I point out something that he has said in error or with vitriol towards what turns out to be some black athlete. And lately he's been really on the tear with black female athletes, and there's always these little anecdotal observations about Jason and how he is doing this and why it can't be that, and how he tells the truth and all these different things. And so what I want to do is I want to do a little schooling, but I want my brothers and sisters to pay attention, because this is happening on both sides of the board. What they don't realize, when they show up to one of my posts and they click the thumbs down button and they drop their comment in and they say what they want to say about it and all of this, they don't realize that what they do is they arm me with empirical and pragmatic evidence that what I'm actually saying about this guy is true. Now, what we're talking about in the basic scheme of things is marketing. Jason Whitlock is a brand. He is a brand that is being marketed and pushed in a particular demographic. He has learned from the time that he came on the scene talking one way to the time he's in now with almost a 100% complete polar shift, that you have to find your audience, and you have to satiate your audience. Now, every time somebody pops up on my video in support of Jason, they don't just leave a statement saying support, and they don't just push the thumb down button, which gives a rating to the video. They tag the video with their biometrics, with their demographics, with everything I need to measure and know who did it. Now, if I want to go real deep, I can actually find them by name and address and everything, but I don't need that. I just need their race and their gender. And that can be, and if you think it's not there, then you can really, truly get lost on this place. But let me tell you something. Data is being collected. If you're on social media, if you're on the internet, data is being collected. And that data is being used to determine how to market to you and how to also influence your behavior. This is what propaganda does. This is what information does. And now we're on information overload. We're consuming so much data at such a rapid pace that we can't possibly rationally process it and categorize it and basically critique it. And so it's just flooding our gates, and whatever you flood your gates with is what is going to have an influence on your subconscious. But I want to go a little bit deeper with this. When these people come on and they sit up and they click on whatever they click on, and they tag it with their profile identity, which is also linked to other things like their email, their other social media accounts that are tagged to that same email. If there's a phone number attached to that, then it can cross-reference that. You don't realize how much of you is on the internet and on these social media platforms when you're on platform. Even when you create an anonymous account, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have to tag whether you are a male or female. Then there are a number of different algorithms that will allow systems to determine your race. Not hard to do. These algorithms were actually created to be able to identify black applicants without actually seeing them. And now they're used to identify any race, and it's been done. This is a part of social learning, racial, critical race theory. It has nothing to do with history. It has everything to do with systemic policies and practices that benefit or negatively impact a particular group while doing the opposite for the other, and based on race. And so that's that. But anyway, let's look at it a little bit deeper. You go on Facebook. I do so much research and gather so much data on Facebook. YouTube has been great for me too. But Facebook allows me to literally download in increments or in full everything that has ever happened on my page. Anytime somebody's liked something, anytime somebody's commented on something, anybody's clicked a link, left a message, inbox, all of that stuff is in this data that it downloads. Matter of fact, it takes so long. Like, I download in increments now, but I've done a couple of full downloads, but I download in increments. I go back to the last time I downloaded and I download the next increment. So I keep all of my data, and you can go back and you can literally use different systems to process and pull this data together in anything and everything about everything you want. So every time you comment on somebody, something, every time you like it, every time you touch anybody's stuff, you leave an imprint of who you are and where you're at and what's going on. And depending on the type of system and the stuff they're using, they're doing that. Now, here's the thing. Do you not believe somebody as intelligent as Jason Whitlock? Never said the guy wasn't intelligent. Never said. The guy knows exactly what he's doing. The people who are backing him, the people who are responsible for his brand, know what they're doing. He understands that there's a certain thought process because the data and the metrics show it, that his target audience thinks this way, feels this way, so he goes for it. He can say anything as ludicrous he wants to. Angel Reese is an unskilled player despite setting records in the WNBA her rookie year. But he always says it in comparison to who? The hottest name right now in U.S. sports, at least, and that's Caitlin Clark. She's hot right now. Nobody's going to deny it. I'm not one of the people that needs to attack her to celebrate the people that I like, and I actually like her as a player. But the truth of the matter is, as much as we like to sit up and talk about how we're in a post-racial America and racism isn't an issue here, we're divided right down racial lines when it comes to how we feel about these two kids. And it's because we got people on both sides pushing the racial narrative instead of pushing the competition and the passion that they play with. We want to talk about this, and depending on who your player is, and we see this even in arguments that don't deal with race, like who's the GOAT, Michael Jordan, you'll sit up there based on who your player is and view it through the lens of what you want to say. And that's what's happening. And the difference is the card right now is race. The card right now is race, and no matter what anybody wants to say, but Jason Whitlock is black. Well, let me tell you something. The greatest threat to black progress is a black face with a white agenda, by far. Malcolm told you something similar to that, but I have said that now for 20 years. The greatest threat to black progress and elevation and empowerment is a black face with a white agenda. Someone that looks like you, that takes an agenda that is diametrically opposed to your interests. What does that do? That gives the people who want to say all the stuff you're claiming is stupid, all the stuff you're claiming is ridiculous, there's no such thing as all the stuff that you're talking about, because there's this black guy standing right there and he's doing great and he's saying this and he doesn't think like you and he supports this and he supports that, and all this different stuff like this, all this different stuff like this that somebody directed me in, all this different stuff. So everything is, you got somebody looking at Jason and going, hey, he can't be this and all this, and they'll throw it up in your face. He can't be racist because he spoke up for Kyrie. But what I'm looking at is whether he's playing it from he's playing to his target audience, which anybody with a half a brain will do. The thing is, that's his prerogative. He can do that, but it's my prerogative to decide if I want to let somebody come at somebody in a way that's not sustainable by facts. And the fact is, Angel Reese is pretty damn skilled in rebounding, pretty damn skilled. She's averaging a double-double, so she can put the ball in the bucket. She can defend, she can block, she can play both ends of the court. When we talk about athleticism, you got to define it based on a certain criteria. When you say she's not athletic, what are you saying? women don't jump as high as men. You don't have a whole lot of dunking going on in the WNBA because women aren't as athletic as men. So are we judging them based on the plane of athleticism as we look at men? Then nobody. And we can't say that Angel Reese isn't athletic and then act like Caitlin is. Caitlin is less athletic than Angel Reese. She doesn't have the quickness. She doesn't have the explosiveness. She's a good ball handler. I won't say exceptional. There's some things she can work on with her ball handling, but she's damn good with her ball handling, but she does get ripped a lot. And those things she can work on and she will get better at, just looking at what I've watched from the time I watched her from her freshman year. She definitely improves. So she'll get better at that. She's a great passer. Her court vision and IQ are off the charts. I'm not going to take that from her. That is why she's actually starting to find her space right now. But she's not athletic. She's not blowing by anybody. She's not shooting over anybody. That's the downside to her right now. How will she get better? Will she get stronger? She's never going to have a 40-inch vertical, but she can improve her quicknesses. She can improve understanding how to use angles to get around people. Those are things she'll learn. I really do believe she'll learn it. But to sit up and say, okay, Angel Reese, I mean, out of the blue, Angel Reese just is the most unskilled and unathletic player in the history of the WNBA. Are you serious? And that's why she hates Caitlin Clark. The girl has said over and over she doesn't hate her. Caitlin has said over and over again they do not hate each other. They're going to be competitive on the floor and they're going to go after it. And I have put my brother, literal biological brother, on his ass playing basketball. It's the game. I've definitely done it in football. It's the game. You don't come out there and play the game to sit up and be soft and buddy-buddy. One of the things I don't like about the NBA right now is they too goddamn friendly. Excuse me. They're too friendly. Get out there and play. Go at each other. Then y'all can go wherever you want to go after the game over with. But right now, you're on the fort. You go out there and do what you do. And that's that. But my whole thing is he's playing to a crowd that is uneducated in the sport. The vast majority of people who have jumped on the Caitlin bandwagon that are new fans that are taking these numbers up aren't educated in the sport. Definitely not in women's athletics and women's basketball. They don't understand it. They're looking at it. They're coming. Everything that you tell them is happening, they're going to believe you. And the thing is, they're not going to believe the non-biased report. They're definitely not going to believe the report that's attacking their star player. They're going to believe the person who is giving all of the passes to their player, who is sitting up and putting their player on a pedestal, who is making their player whatever. And again, I have no problem with sitting up and saying, hey, look, man, this kid is hot. Ride the popularity, ride the fame. It's a business. Don't cook your golden goose. Don't do that. I'm not one to say that. WNBA needs more notoriety, and if this kid can bring it, great. And if she's bringing it, she deserves whatever she gets for bringing it. That's business. If I'm bringing money in, I deserve money. So I don't, how much, who she signs a contract with, I could care less. What I do care about is how some people are capitalizing on it by lining it up and going heavy on one side or the other to create conflict and discord that will cause it to collapse at some point. You're sticking a lot of weight and bricks on the backs of both of these kids instead of letting them be young athletes and enjoy what they've worked hard to achieve. Stop fighting your battles vicariously through these kids. But Jason Whitlock and his fans who show up, and I thank you, because when you show up, you show me what his demographic is. You show me how his demographic thinks. And anybody with any real true honesty is going to admit this guy knows what he's doing, so he's fanning the flame. And if you don't believe it, you know, Angel Reese kind of can get under your skin because she's a person, she's going to get out there. She's a noise talker. She doesn't back down. She's extremely physical. So she's one that you can actually love to hate if you want to. You know, some people are going to appreciate her. Some people are going to say she's over the top. But she's that person. Simone Biles. Now, I'm going to tell you, here's the subtlety of it. He went after Simone Biles. She doesn't even play basketball. And said she's delusional because she thinks she's as famous as Caitlin Clark. Now, Caitlin Clark is famous in the U.S. because that's where all of the of the notoriety is coming from national television audience. Simone Biles is the world's greatest gymnast ever. She's international. But that's not even the point. The point is he goes after her, and then he compares her to Caitlin Clark. She has nothing to do with Caitlin Clark, but what does he know about Simone Biles? He knows that his target audience is a big part of the pushback group that jumped on Simone when she pulled out of the Olympics and cited her mental health. He knows that that's his audience. He knows that if he attacks her, they will have a flashback of how they felt when she pulled out, because that was unpatriotic. To hell with how you feel mentally, emotionally. You're a quitter. How can you be the greatest of all time and you quit? I remember the things said about that young lady, but she paved the way for the things like Naomi Osaka and a couple of others who have since then cited mental health and understanding, hey, look, maybe this is something I need to step back from a while and do it, man. Naomi took some time off. She was, at the time, she was #1 in the world, and just sit up and say, I'm done. Because why? She felt empowered by what Simone Biles did. Now, but Jason understands, hey, my target audience wasn't with that. And they are hot behind Caitlin. I'm going to go up and I'm going to make a completely unconnected connection. What in the hell does Simone Biles got to do with Caitlin Clark? Nothing. But he made the connection and they jumped it. And he knew they would. And it keeps him relevant. And it keeps him paid. And that's his prerogative. But it's my prerogative to call BS when I see it. And I'm going to continue to do it. And I invite all of you to come and click and share, because I put all of that in my research. And I absolutely love it. And my whole thing is I don't hate none of you. I ain't got time for no hate. But I'll check whatever I have to check. And I will check it unapologetically. And I don't have a problem sitting down talking with anybody. And my thing is, this guy is way too smart to not know what he's doing. He's doing it on purpose. And the crazy thing is, the people that are backing him the most are the people that are getting played the most. And it is what it is, because at some level, we're all getting played by this media system, this media thing. It's all something, then some more and more people are figuring out how to get a little piece of it. But at the end of the day, everybody at the top with the major bread are the ones that's controlling the narrative, the one that's manipulating outcomes. And it's important for us to understand and know how this stuff works. But on that note, look, I'm out of here. I just had to come drop that little piece on you. I'm about to get in here, smoke a couple of cigars, talk with the guys, and catch the second day of this NBA draft. Then get back home and get ready to do the final steps, because tomorrow is the release of book number 28, Healing and Whole. All that. I am just, like I said, God is good. I'm out of here. Take care.